Hey folks, how you doing? So want to show you what I've been working on last couple days. Didn't make videos because been busy. Every day I'm busting my chops, really working hard, and then after work I'm trying to really quick run to do a little bit of fishing because I have my eyes set on the shark in that canal where I go fishing. There are sharks there, and I had it actually hooked I think 3 times now, but every single time, like first time he bite through the line because I didn't have the steel cable there, and then he just and 2 other times he snapped the line. It was just, the line wasn't strong enough for the shark. It's not big, it's probably like 3-footer, but I mean they can still put up a hell of a fight. And it's big adrenaline, gators and sharks all in one little creek canal. It's pretty cool. So that's why didn't do a lot of videos. And actually the way I set these 5 up, they weren't finished until today actually. So today it all came together nicely. I'm quite happy. Couple new improvements. I did give you a sneak peek on that one that I started working on. I think it was this one that I made. I purchased thicker titanium for the next run, for this run. And it just slightly, it actually is only about 25,000, 30,000, something like that, thicker on each side. So very, very little, difference. But it makes nice difference in how the knife feels. Me personally, I like the thinner version because it's lighter a little bit. It's half an ounce different in when the knife is finished. It's a half an ounce difference between this and the thinner one. Next update was radius. I don't know why I didn't do it to begin with. It makes for me, it makes the knife look so much nicer when you have the radius there instead of a regular corner. Another little update, doesn't have to do with the updating the design, but the way I do things. Learning and practicing more and more the pocket clip. No, not secondary screw anymore from the inside, from the bottom, but milled out slot and the top of the pocket clip fitted into it really nicely for doing everything by hand and not being very skilled with the milling machine. I think it's pretty nice. It works perfect. It keeps the pocket clip from turning, and it's nice and secure. Just have to find out what's the right depth for it. So it's the shallower the better, but it has to be deep enough to work for that purpose. And another update, I got the new anodizing machine. Finally, they got them in stock, the nice one where it goes from 0 to 120 volts, so you get pretty much the whole spectrum of titanium, which is pretty sweet. And you can see it here, for example, really, really cool green color. I don't know if this would be called turquoise. I have no idea. I'm a guy. I don't know the colors, all the fancy names for the colors, for the fancy colors. I know blue, green, yellow, red, black, white. That's about it. But it has those really cool hues. You start off with the green. I do the green. It's about 100 volts, and then stonewash, and then I did 16.6 volts. That gives a little bit of bronzish, purplish tone on whatever was stonewash. And the final result is, I think, spectacular. That's definitely my new favorite. Also, new blues. Doesn't probably, well, you can kind of say that it is different type of blue than what I've been doing until now. This is about, I think, 80 volt. Yeah, 80 volts blue, and it's pretty cool. I think this one is, I think, about the same thing, about those 80 volts, just a little different. Oh, this one. Which one was it? This is 80 volts, and but the copper kind of throws it off because this the pivot collars, both of these, they are actually press fitted in. They are so tight that they are press fitted in, hammered in, pinned in, then ream the hole again and countersink for the screw, and so it's anodized and stonewash and everything with it. So it's not smooth and everything, but it has the cool kind of like a aged look to it, and it's from. If it focuses, and from the sandblaster it's roughed up nicely, so it's gonna actually patina nicely, and I think it's gonna look really cool. It's gonna kind of fit together with that stonewash finish on it. When I'm done with it, when I finish, before I do anodizing and stonewash, sandblast, it just perfectly, mirror polish copper, just like everything else. But then in the process, process of doing what I do, the next steps, it actually becomes like that. I personally like it. I can imagine, of course, like with everything else, there will be people that are not gonna be fans of it, but what you gonna do? Can't please everybody. Another nice little thing I kind of learned is this little flipper reliefs there. You don't really need it there because the flippers are working really well. It is just another little simple thing I learned with the mill, and you know, it kind of like makes no difference really for flipping, but it's the idea behind it is that when you press it, your finger, you know, the mid of your finger can actually push the flipper just microscopically deeper, more. That's the idea behind it. And also you hitting kind of radius area, wider area instead of the narrow area here, but like I said, it doesn't really make a difference. So what we have here is this type, for example, stone wash with a nice wedge that goes from kind of like a 0 to slightly reinforced tip. This one is a rocket, this one has a strong dip, the strongest dip out of this, and it just rockets out. Stone wash with swedge going kind of evenly all the way across. They all are nice and even, the grinds and swedges. I'm getting a little better, little by little. This one is pretty cool, it has that kind of like a bark pattern on the flats, and it's just regular drop point with rounded spine. This one has a cool little design on the flipper. It's nicely rounded, so it's not sharp, it doesn't hurt, but it just looks pretty nice, I think. This one has that spiral on the flipper. This one has just small little rock on the flipper. And you see this one has the crater only on the back, like the back half. This one is only in the front. This one I like a lot. So this is my traditional handle shaping, but instead of rounding the top, I did the geometrical nice chamfer, about 45-degree chamfer, and it just looks so perfect. And it's such a big chamfer, you know. I wasn't gonna do small one. Like, I really don't like when I see just a small tiny little chamfer, you know, on the knock of the corner. Really not a big fan of it. And this makes it feel just like if it was rounded off, but it makes it look a little more, you know, like more professional, I would say, or not necessarily. More professional in the looks in the eyes of machinists. Machinists have that kind of rule: when you see those nice crisp lines and straight lines, it's a good sign of machining. Just like the corners, you know, the sharp corners. It's kind of funny. You can kind of see by a lot of knife makers which are coming from the knife making background and which are coming from more like a craft or tool background. Because the machinist type knife makers, you're gonna see nice, sharp, clean, crisp angles. It's just like, you know, everybody likes different things, and they are used from certain standards from their machining background. It's interesting, this knife making. It really is. This one is pretty cool. I like. So we have the little bit of crater in the back and in the front, that really cool green color. Copper wash and the swedge, like hand drop swedge, nice and long and pretty tall and nice and even. Look at that, it goes just perfectly in line. Really like them. There was one more thing, what I kind of goal, what I want to do. Was this blue? Yeah, this blue. This is kind of the goal, what I want to do, but this was a tricky one with the pocket clip. So you see that these are the milled out pocket where the pocket clip sits. It just goes from completely open in the bag, which, I mean, I think that's perfectly fine. But idea is, this is what I would like to accomplish. I think it looks a little better. It makes it a whole lot more trickier to fit it in there, because they are not, like, my pocket clips are not made like perfectly. I had to like make them narrower. It's a 1/4 inch mill bit that kind of mills that portion. My clips are actually, you know, they like a wedge. They get wider and wider all the way towards the end. So the only way to do it is actually fit them, grind them narrower and kind of straight as best as possible. Of course, it's all done by hand. You know, I don't know how to do these things on the mill, and so everything is eyeballed and just a lot of back and forth, you know, grinding and fitting, grinding, fitting, grinding. But it's fun, you know. It's kind of cool. It's that evolution of doing things a little nicer, a little better. Not necessarily better, just nicer. Try to make it nicer, try to improve myself. Better, I mean, you know, in all honesty, the knife is as good as the grind, as the sharp it is, and the lag is good. That's all it is. This doesn't really, you know, how well it flips, how smooth it is, how perfect everything is. It doesn't really make the knife better. The knife as a tool is just how well it cuts, how comfortable it is, and all that stuff. But just to, you know, trying to improve the kind of the design, the look, and the little details. You know, the devil's in the details. You know that. So guys, these are going to the blade show. I will have them with me, so if you wanna see them there, you know, I don't have a table. I'm gonna walk around because it wasn't fun last year. I didn't really need a table there to sell stuff. So I just want to walk around, meet people, talk to people, and then, you know, if you want to see these, you know, grab me outside or meet me at the pit at the, you know, night times when everybody's hanging out at that lobby. It's gonna be a good time there. Guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you for all the support. Have a great weekend. Take care, stay safe, and remember, don't cut yourself.